What if I told you I literally drove to New York because I got a text last week from a buddy asking me, "Hey bud, do you need this?" And I answered, "Nah dude, I have it." Then I got a response back saying, "How did you get it?" I didn't know what to say. And so I'm here because I'm not an insecure liar who says I have something that I actually don't. No, why would I do that? Seriously. So I packed my bags, started the engines, and we're here in Medina, New York. Day out with Thomas happens every single year in a lot of states, which is crazy because Thomas is coming close to being 100 years old. The time-space continuum seems to work a little differently. On day number 1, it was raining, but I still went in. I think we're gonna try again tomorrow. On day number 2, it was sunny. And so it begins. Knowing that I was violating section 441, I was intimidated. Look how awkward I am. Then I saw a sign that said keep calm and steam on. So I took the advice, kept on walking. It also told me I was almost there. I actually had no idea where, but ooh, bubbles. I think they have a wooden railway layout. A Thomas wood layout. There was a Thomas. I was curious if there was anything special about the Thomas, so I flipped around and it said MRRM. And yes, not only did I fail to focus, but my shaky darn hand is making the video very hard to watch. I apologize. I wanted to play with the Thomas, so here's me pushing James down the rail. There's also an arcade booth that I couldn't really figure out how to play. I kept on scrolling and found James, scrolled more and met Spencer, Percy, Gordon, and finally Thomas. There was also a place where you were able to ride a mini Thomas, and no, we're not gonna go ride this train. I'm a full-grown adult. On to the next place. This is James, a bit yellow. It looks like he was mutated, maybe even radiated, I don't know. But everybody was having fun with James. And yes, I don't think this is how James actually looks like. Like, look at this Thomas over here. Hope it's not lead paint. On the next clip, I may or may not have gotten a tad too excited. And the clip just ends here. Now, you might be wondering why I'm actually here in the first place. I mean, if I really wanted a day out with Thomas, I could have bought it on eBay. And you are right. However, last week my mom sent me pictures that I have zero recollection of. So I had to ask her, "Are you sure that's me?" And she answered, "Duh, who else would it be?" And so to dive balls deep into my subconscious mind, we're gonna take the exact same picture with Thomas as I did when I was a kid. There's gonna be a day out with Thomas coming at exactly 11:30. We're gonna try and get some clips. I was expecting Thomas to move forward, but it reversed. And this is what I meant reverse. This actually took me 4 tries to get this reverse clip. I was having a bit too much fun and kept on missing the time to get the shots. Hope you like it. It's a pretty long train. Should we fast forward a little bit? I think we should. He's here. Yeah, Thomas. Back to hour 2. This is hour 4 or 5. Can't remember. On hour number 2, I waited for Thomas to come. He was actually talking. His mouse was actually moving when he was talking. Kinda creepy, kinda cool. Oh yeah, you see his mouse moving for sure. And yep, I have shaky hands. My video skills are pretty bad. Please don't judge me. But seeing everybody happy, cheerful, it also got me in a good mood. On hour number 3, I went out the gates to get a video of Thomas coming in. I waited a little longer. Why is it not coming? Oh yeah, legs were cramping. Come on, Thomas. I'm making a YouTube video. You're embarrassing me. Come on. Yeah, we're just gonna cut to Thomas. Yeah, Thomas. And yes, I forgot to wave back again, but I think the train is slowing down a bit. I think we can go to the next clip. Maybe right now? After the train came to a halt, immediately one of the conductors was rotating a handle. It turns out it was a reverser. Basically, it allows the train to change direction, to move either forward or backward depending on the desired direction. I was really curious how the trains connect. That's how I got to meet Butch.
My name is Butch.
He loves children, he loves trains, and has a very cool mustache. I asked Butch how the connectors work.
All we do is just plug that in. That's all it does, and then it generates everything I do in there. The talking, well, the whistle is the air, is what it is, but the smoke.
And I was able to get a picture with him. Getting to see the trains up close was super cool. The coach number said 2915 and 521. It was also named New York Central. It also said Medina, New York. And now it was that time. Finally getting the picture I always wanted.
Thomas. Yeah, there we go.
And I still wasn't able to recall the memory. My pollen allergy was hitting hard at this point and I really needed to get inside somewhere. I found a banner that said largest railroad and toy museum, and yes, this is yesterday. You can tell it's raining, but talking about yesterday, I also got to meet Trent. We met inside of a gift store, and based on the conversation, I was able to tell he really loved the community of Thomas.
I haven't come to these events since I was like not even one, and it's cool coming up here to see little kids' faces light up and showing no matter how old you get, you can still love Thomas and trains in general.
Truly cared for the happiness of children. At the end, I asked Trent where his favorite place was.
I'd say inside the museum. It's actually really cool going around, seeing the trains running.
Let's go see how it used to be. Yeah, that's what it said. In the center of the museum, there were beautiful dioramas. It's probably the biggest one I've seen in my life. On the sides, there were a lot of vintage stuff. By I mean vintage, telephones, vintage food. Probably shouldn't eat it. It's crazy to think how a lot of things got dematerialized. There were a lot of random books, one on locomotive manual. It got me thinking how back then people had limited resources to learn, but now all information is very egalitarian for all of us. And new problem rises where we have too much information that we have to be very selective on what we consume. The diorama was beautiful. Trains were bustling down the track. How long is this train going? Still going. We also saw some architecture. There were towns you were able to turn on and off the lights. Fun. I also pressed this button. Nothing really happened. There was also a guy defying Newton's law of universal gravitation and floating away. Haters will say a string's pulling the guy. Yeah, I don't see any strings out here. Yesterday I saw a Thomas, but it ran away from me as I was about to film it. Today, I got him. There was also a Percy. This was a very cool roundhouse, and there was another Mattel custom Thomas. It looks like Thomas was part of the parade. These trains were inspiring me to go outside again to go see the trains. I took some photos with some trains to prove I was here, and yes, I am that tall. Now comes the fun part, gift shop. The fact that I was lying about having a day out with Thomas has been haunting me the whole time. If you guys watched my collection video, you'll realize I'm also missing a lot of day out with Thomas. And thank you for the reminder. And if you don't know the hidden secret behind last year's day out with Thomas, here it is. Thomas had 3 colored wheels, but because wheel locations were all over the place, there were 6 possible variants. Oh shit. I just found a yellow, there's also a darker blue, and also a green. Oh my goodness, how many variants is that? I'm not gonna even do the math, and we're not gonna collect them all, but it is cool. What about 2023? Are there more variants? Luckily, this year stayed consistent. I'm also gonna give away 5 of these, 3 of them to the following who all commented Thomas Collectibles rock. You guys rock too. And 2 from this video who subscribes, like, and comment something nice. In the gift shop, there were a lot of cool stuff. I really wanted this poster, forgot to ask. There were mini Thomases. Ooh, gold. Also a box for you to store your mini Thomases. There were also motorized Thomas notepads, bags. I'm getting a little exhausted. I don't have as much energy as the kids, but this was one of the coolest things I got to do. Still insecure, still a liar. Nothing really changed, but one thing I learned is, if you say something, keep those words with your life. So take that, buddy. I kept my words. I still couldn't remember myself going to day out with Thomas as a kid, but Trent taught me it doesn't matter. Because No matter how old you get.
You can still love Thomas Dang It and